Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, so it's time for my midweek pickup. Yesterday, I did a piece on what was going on in Baltimore, and I just kind of wanted to do a continuation on that, but focus on the media aspect of what's going on out there and the things that we should look at and the things that we should look into. First of all, the media is only going to show you what they want you to see. If you look at the timeline of things that happen, usually things, of course, that have to do with race, it's almost like it's a timeline, and every timeline is similar. Someone's life gets taken in a terrible way. They get on the news. They don't explain to you the details of what happened for the life to get taken unless it's on camera or something, and then they still don't really tell you exactly what happened and what's going on. Then a day later, they'll come back and say the person involved, the cop involved in the shooting, is now on paid suspension, which to me is really he's on paid vacation. So, this right here is the antagonizing point. This is the point to where they're trying to get us to take the bait, get frustrated, get upset, get angry. Then after that, after they say the cop is suspended with pay and everything, then they'll go back to, in another story, this person was doing this. This is the reason why he got shot or murdered, and then they try and justify it, which adds to frustration. And then the protests come. Now they already know what they've done. They've antagonized a group of people to want to go out and get justice. Now, with that bait being taken right then, they already know. They're ready for the protest, and they're thinking, hey, we know that they're going to protest. We know it's going to be a riot coming after that. So they're already prepared. They're a couple steps ahead of us, if you will. So we go down, we protest. That part is not caught on camera, or it's not shown in the media. The peaceful part of the protest, what's shown in the media is that one edge that was peaceful, and then the breaking point. For example, in Baltimore, there were peaceful protests at first, but you really didn't hear too much about the peaceful protests. You heard about the explosion, and the explosion was not shown as a egg-on explosion. It was just shown as people are out here rioting in the streets. They're going crazy. They're losing their minds. What are we going to do to stop it? They're overtaking the police force, all of this other kind of stuff. Now, if you look at that, you already see that, the main objective was to go out and have a peaceful protest. What they're not showing you is the ridicule, the name calling, the threats that are happening at the peaceful protest. They're not showing that part. They're not showing people getting called niggers and you deserve what happened and things like that. And these are coming from the police force or whatever, the people on the other side, while the people on the protest side is frustrated already. They're egging them on. So they've egged a group of people on. And it's going to be two types of people at a protest. It's going to be the people who really want the positive outcome, and it's going to be the people who are already at that edge, that have been struggling, that have been ridiculed, that have been frustrated and are completely tired. And then when something is said like, whatever they said, the racial slurs that came out, of course, bam, it's going to be an explosion right there. But they're already ready for it. They already have their riot gear out ready. So they know what's going to happen. They know that they're going to go out here and egg something on to get a response. But what the media does is they only show the negative aspect of it. They don't want to show the positive aspect. They don't want to show when people first showed up, how they were trying to get stores cleaned and fix things in the street. No, they want to show you burning cop cars, going into buildings, burning buildings or whatever. And I'm not justifying that or making that seem like it's the thing to do or that's what you're supposed to do, because it's not. It's very ignorant, if you want to ask me, because you're destroying your own community. That's not how we're ever going to get taken seriously, and no one's ever going to listen to us if we're around there destroying our own community. It was even people from other cities coming into Baltimore destroying, their city, which makes no sense at all. But the fact is that they were ready for that to happen. They figured that was going to happen, so they prepared themselves. Us, on the other hand, we knew something was going to happen. It's just the road that some of us went down that makes all of us look like we're enraged animals or beasts, as they say on the news or whatever. I like the fact that they interviewed some of the gang members that were in Baltimore, and they were trying to say that the gang members came together and they came together to go out and kill police officers. When they did the interview with the gang members, what I liked about it was the interviewer was not in control. Most of these situations, whoever the interviewer is in control of the interview, and they're kind of dictating and using their selves to make their point heard so society can see it from their point of view. When they interviewed the people in the gangs or whatever, the people that were in the gangs kind of controlled the interview, so they got off what they needed to get off, and they were out there trying to do some things to help the community. But like they said in their interview, y'all aren't going to show us doing the right things. Y'all only want to show us doing the wrong things, And, just because somebody wears a certain color or the color of their skin, whatever the case may be, that does not mean that you have the right to prejudge or stereotype them, put them in a label that they're bad, they're going to do something, so we have to be ready for it. I watch the news every day, and I'm from Houston, Texas. I watch the news every day. And what I tend to see is throughout the weekdays, it's always complete, like it's always something that's chaotic that has happened. But when I watch the news on the weekend, when I catch it, it's almost like it's peaceful. It's like all the crime took a break for the weekend or something. But during the week, Monday through Friday, it's on. It's on and popping again. Like this person got murdered, this person is kidnapped, this person is stabbed, and it's because they show you what they want to show you at the time that they want you to see it. And if we can't get the real truth out there, what are we going to do? What's going to end up happening? Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to end up happening. If voices aren't heard in the light that they are supposed to be heard, then nothing is going to ever change. We're going to be stuck in the same rut that we've been stuck in for years and years and years. And I just want to, make sure that we all are still praying for that city. But we also need to just pray for the world, because it's all kind of chaos going on in the world, not just in Baltimore, but people are affected with tragedy around the world every day. And it's just more known for us here in the United States because, of course, it's in our country. So that's the main topic, the main story that's going on around everywhere. What I want us to kind of try and do is, of course, be educated on things. When you go out for a protest, make sure you leave it at that. Don't let it escalate to something that's going to be violent, something that's going to get you a extra scar on your record, something that could get you killed. It's certain steps that we have to take in order to get to where we need to be. And if we don't take those steps, then we'll never be where we need to be. And a lot of times we're going to have to swallow our pride and kind of humble ourselves to get to where we need to be. But if that's what we have to do, that's what we're going to have to do. Because if we don't do that, then we're still going to get young men shot in the streets, young kids shot, and police officers getting paid vacations for it, which is going to cause uproar in the city. With that being said, I'm going to go on and cut it short. I've already been talking too long. But, just pray that the world and all of this chaotic stuff that's going on gets under control, because if it doesn't, we're going to end up destroying ourselves instead of someone else destroying us, if you will. With that being said, y'all have a good Wednesday. Put God first, family second, everything else will follow.